Yeah, Weege Show here. This is the factory edition new bike launch. This is an annual thing where KTM holds a launch of their new team, and they tell you the riders are on a team, but we always know who's on the team already. But the big story this year is an all-new motorcycle. We will show it to you in a moment up close. Looks like Vital MX is getting in on the bike right now. We'll get some interviews, we'll talk to some people, and thanks to Race Tech and the Gold Valves for supporting the Weege Show. You know it, Plusher, better bottoming resistance, more traction, made and engineered in the USA. Racetech.com for the Gold Valves. Let's talk bikes and let's talk riders. Marvin Musquin, Plessinger, Cooper Webb, Max Vohland are here. I didn't even know, by the way, that there was going to be a new 250 factory edition machine as well. That's the 450 over there. A couple things I'll point out. The bike is all new. Ian Harrison, the team manager, says the only things that you can use on the old bike and the new bike is the few front brake pieces and handlebars, and that's about it. Oh, the front wheel is the same. Everything else is different. You can even tell, obviously, the bodywork looks different. I want to show you this. They got these wings built into the front fender, which is designed to stop roost from hitting the rotor, but not be so wide that it's going to block the radiator, so it can block roost, but still leave room for airflow. The air box, significantly larger here, the opening, and they did a lot of work on the aerodynamics to figure out where air is pulling in to get it to go where the air filter is, and not just under the seat where the battery is and things like that. Seat connects in the front of the bike now. Motor on the 250 is redesigned. It's got a bigger bore and a shorter stroke, but actually the real goal was more mid-range power. This is a huge, huge change with the electronics. You have modes and you have traction control like the bike always had, but it has another button here, QS, quick shifting. They say this bike will provide, you can do clutchless shifting second through fifth on both the 250 and the 450. So that's kind of a road racing thing, quick shifting technology coming through. As far as the handling is concerned, the big focus was on the shock. They have a shock over there that we can look at. This is a composite subframe. It's got an aluminum spar here, and in the back of the subframe is composite. It's not any lighter. It's just a little more rigid and a lot more durable in a crash, because if you bend aluminum, you can't bend aluminum back. The plastic will just go back into place if you have a big crash. But the real attempt was, they did a lot of work. The shock is a little bit shorter, and it's a completely different design shock, but where the shock attaches to the frame and how that energy is dispersed. KTM explained to us that they really liked the way the front end of the bike worked on the old bike, but they really want to make improvements for the rear suspension. So a lot of the focus on the frame is how it manages the energy from the rear shock, and the rear shock itself is totally different. The forks are very similar to the forks that debuted on the factory edition bike 2 years ago, but there's revised settings to match the completely different frame and the rear shock setting as well. Those are just a couple of highlights of the all-new bike. Of course, it got an all-new look. Also, here's something I think is cool. Look at the radiator shrouds. You see that texture there? That's actually designed for the rider to be able to lay his boot on top of the shroud in a real deep rutted corner. You know, the riders in the cool photos have their leg up under the bar. This is actually designed to support that. So a lot of like cool details that look neat, but more importantly, we'll see how it performs on the track. And remember, these are factory edition bikes that will be in dealerships in 2022 in limited quantities, so people will be able to ride them and buy them themselves. Is the bike good? You think it's cool? Are you impressed?
I'm impressed.
You are impressed?
Are you impressed?
Well, look, I'm not a professional test rider like Michael Lindsay of Vital MX, so if you're impressed, that means something. Me?
Hey.
Sure, it looks awesome.
Here, I'll give you what I think is the most impressive part about this bike.
Okay.
I haven't announced this yet, but
oh, you're breaking news. Yeah.
Well, it'll come out eventually.
Okay.
So the frame we see here.
Yeah.
A 250F, a 350, a 450, and all the two-strokes will fit in the same frame. They've redone all their engine cases across all models. Of course, they haven't announced the two-strokes yet, but that was one of the main goals on this platform. It's all interchangeable.
Because the bottom spars changed out on the old bikes, depending on.
The two-strokes were a little different in that area, and then on the four-stroke, the 250 and 350 were shared, and then the 450 had a different cradle.
I see.
All the same now.
Yeah, so the cradle will be the same on all the bikes.
The guys in the engine shop were saying they love it because now when they're building engines, they don't have to change any of their fixtures to put their engines on rebuild.
There you go.
Put anything on it and just work on it.
Yeah, because look, we've seen this movie before. These are factory edition bikes for 2022. The 2023 full line of KTMs will be very similar to these bikes. So yes, then when you see two strokes and 350s and all those things. Okay, we've reached the Marvin Musquin part of the program here. You can finally, you had to say carefully the current bike you raced in Paris.
Yeah.
It was the current bike.
Ian reminded me a few times. Not saying, I couldn't say the old bike. No, don't say that. Say the current bike. But now we can't say it anymore.
It doesn't matter.
Now I think I can say the old bike.
Okay, I mean you're riding this now. This is the real deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. You said for Paris you had to actually like transition a bit, back and forth.
Yeah. When we made the agreement with Paris Supercross, you know, and KTM said, we'll try to get the new bike, but not sure. And I said, okay. And then they say, oh no, you'll have to go back to the current bike. And I'm like, oh, okay, no problem. But then when we got a week before the Paris Supercross, I had to ride at least one day with it, right?
Yep.
And I was like, oh man, I was a little nervous because I knew it was so different. The feel was so different. But actually the day went great. That was on the Monday, and then I flew to Paris on the Tuesday, and everything worked out good.
Okay, yeah, so luckily you didn't need 2 days because you didn't have a lot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was good.
Okay, you've been through this a couple times with new generation bikes. Don't worry, we're good.
Normal?
Yeah, we're just conserving battery.
I can't see myself anymore.
Yeah. You look fine. I think it conserves battery after a while.
Nice.
Yeah, you're good. You've been through this a couple times at new bikes coming in. How has this process gone? It should go awesome every time. They should know how to improve it, but it's not always that smooth. How has it gone this time?
Well, it was so different.
Really?
Engine-wise and frame-wise. I mean, everything felt so different.
No kidding.
Yeah, like or whatever engine brake or something. And I was like, whoa! At first, I was like, wow, it's so different.
Wow.
But I got used to it super quick. And I've said it many times. I ran the bike for like 3 weeks, I think, and I didn't touch anything. They put the suspension, the base suspensions on it, and I didn't touch it because obviously it was the beginning of the riding in October, so I was not up to speed, but I felt good. I was happy. I was enjoying the riding, so I said, let's leave it like that. Let's not test it because I'm not up to speed.
Yeah.
And I ran it like that for like 3 weeks, so it was great. And then little bit by little bit we start, testing a little bit.
But when you first get on a bike, 3 weeks without having to change it, that's pretty good.
That was pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. Because we so used to let's try this or let's try that. And sometimes if you live it and get used to it, it works out great.
We saw just a few weeks ago, Roger said you're flying at the test track. I know you're trying to play it cool, but are you feeling good?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I mean, I always want to feel better or whatever, but it's a process. It's off season, and we still have some time to get ready for Anaheim. So. No, I think Roger got excited one day because he came up to the track and I was probably doing well. Okay,
but there's still room. You feel there's room for improvement?
Yes, always.
You're not peaking.
No.
Not peaking yet. All right, new bike, and we'll see.
Yes.
He said you're flying at the test track. We'll just see how it turns out.
There's a lot of guys flying.
Okay, good point.
A lot.
All right, Max Vohland here going into year 2. Okay, it's year 2, but you didn't get much Supercross last year, so it's... What, you're 1.5 kind of?
Yeah, it's pretty much. 3 races and a whole lot.
Yes. You had to be so bummed because, look, the whole goal was to not get hurt and get time in. And when I heard the injury and the crash wasn't that bad.
No, I mean, dislocated hip sounds bad, but once it was in, it was fine. I was walking like a week. So we got right back to it after that, but it's been good.
Yeah, so for your situation, you're saying like we all know in the second year guys kind of step up results wise, but you've got to manage that with you've only raced 3 times. That's tough.
Yeah, definitely tough, but the outdoors has helped a lot this year. I mean, and also too, doing the 3 races, you didn't think you learned too much, but we definitely learned that to be good in the whoops because that's where I ended up crashing.
Okay.
So we definitely learned that lesson, and we definitely took action on that. We only took 5 days off of outdoors, and the next weekend after Hangtown, I was riding Dungey ride day, and then next Monday we were on Supercross.
I've heard hint. Does this new bike, has that helped with the whoops?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yes. That's what I've heard. Yes.
Yeah.
So you got more confidence in there.
Yeah, definitely.
But this new bike is pretty new to you.
Yeah. It's only been a week for me right now. I think 5-7 days on the bike total.
Right.
So it's definitely been new, but it's been definitely better and definitely more
so the
successful.
450 guys have had theirs for a bit.
Yeah.
And you were just told it's coming, it's coming, it's coming.
Yeah, we thought we were gonna get it a little bit earlier, but then just more delays. But yeah, it's kind of it's been good. So I ain't complaining, and it's kind of setting us up to head towards the East Coast.
Yeah, so you'll be on East. It's hard to say now because that's 2 months away. But will you feel a little more serious pressure, like I've got to do something, or can you still just treat it like you did last year? How do you shape it up? And I know it's 2 months away; it's hard to say.
Yeah, I mean, the goal is, of course, get results always.
Yeah.
The team hasn't said really anything to me about that wise, like what I need to be doing.
Yeah.
But of course, myself and my dad, we have our own goals, and of course, that's to be up there on the podium. It depends how far. It's 2 months, so it depends how good I am by the time coming in the season.
Right.
Maybe a race or two to get more under my belt, just more experience. But I think by the third race pass, I should be pretty competitive.
My last question: when you first got on this bike, were handguards on it immediately? Was there ever a time where you rode it without handguards?
Never. I've never. I mean, I think I only rode 2 times without handguards, and it was back on my 125 because my dad wanted to see where my fingers were on my levers.
Okay.
And it was out at the local outdoor track, and rocks hit my fingers every time. So every time I've taken handguards off, I've been hitting the hands with either like hard roosts or rocks. So them things never coming off.
Okay, so the first time on this bike, handguards went on it.
Handguards were on.
Okay, so they fit at least.
Yes, they fit.
Okay. All right. Still pretty bright over here on the Champ. Cooper Webb, you got a new motorcycle. Tell me what's better. Where is an area it's improved? Can you identify?
I can identify that.
Yeah? Okay.
For me, where I get the most ridiculed, the whoops.
Here we go. You're saying this.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're looking for a change man on the whoops now. But no, overall, really, really good. Everything's brand new, which is always a little scary, especially after coming off such a successful year and few years on a chassis and a bike. So luckily I'd ridden it a few years ago in stock form, and the thing was really nice right away. So it's been awesome, man. It really has. The engine's really good, suspension's good as ever, chassis is really good. The biggest thing for me is the little stuff, but the cockpit and the seat area, like me being a smaller guy, I can just feel like I can grab the thing and make it my own. So yeah, I'm excited.
I couldn't believe when they said that. You rode this bike in 2019, 2 years ago. What is it like? Is it like hand built? Does it look weird?
Yeah, now it is strange seeing it kind of in its final versions.
Yeah.
Back then it was like basically a hybrid version with, I think we had legit just black plastics on it.
Okay. Was it even this shape and
no,
stuff?
Like they had this idea in mind and everything, but it was just the engine and stock, completely stock. We rode it on Supercross, and at the time we literally just threw Supercross suspension on it and rode it, and then we went and did outdoor tests on it, and so yeah, pretty cool. I'd never been a part of that. They had all the boys from Austria over, the R&D team, and yeah, I think this has been about a 5-year project for them, so I think everyone's pretty excited to see it now coming alive, and we're about to race the thing.
Okay, so it's good in the whoops. That's helping you there. Are you working with Burner now, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of a whoop guy. He's fixed a lot of dudes in the whoops.
He has, yeah. So yeah, definitely different program this year with Michael Byrne. He's helping me as riding coach, trainer, and yeah, it's been great so far. He's definitely kind of helped me. I felt like I was at a position where, I've always felt like I've been fit. I've always had good mindset, good racecraft, and just needed a few things to work on. I felt like the whoops is obviously one of them, and he was actually my riding coach last year, even when I was with Alden and stuff, and I felt like I did make a big push last year, so it's been great so far though. Yeah, we're grinding and getting everything dialed over at Chad Reed's old place at the 83 compound, and have Jet and Hunter as kind of riding partners and stuff like that. So it's been good. And then we've also been able to still go and ride at Alden's through the KTM partnership that they have, and be out here in California and see all the boys. So yeah, it's been good. It's good.
Okay, so look, it's been 3 years of you being really good on top, and that's hard to maintain that. Making some of these changes, new bike, new place to ride, new guy to work with, does that just give you a little spring in the step, so to speak?
Absolutely. I think I've been extremely successful the last 3 years, and the program that we were on was absolutely amazing. But as a racer and as me being me, I'm always looking for more. And I felt like some of the stuff that I was doing was amazing, and it worked wonders. But I felt like there was stuff that we could do better. And in this sport and in any sport in life, you're always looking for that little bit more and what's next and how can I be better. And as fast as this class is, you always have to make progression, just like KTM does as a group with a brand new bike after winning arguably the last 6 or 7 Supercross championships.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I think it's definitely something that is new and is different, but I'm looking forward to that challenge, and I just want to get the most out of myself. That's the bottom line, and I'm a very competitive person, so I want to do everything the best I possibly can.
I got one last thing. Look, Coop, I've seen you off the track. You hang out with, people would not think you hang out with Phil Nicoletti, but you do. There's an off-the-track Cooper Webb that I don't think the world has seen. I'm sure it's hard to manage winning Supercross titles and that. Are you getting more comfortable as you become more of a veteran, being yourself, letting that stuff show? Is that something we're going to start to see?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, like you said, it's tough on race day, and it's I think away from the track. And if people were to put a GoPro up and see the normal life, it would be a bit extreme. You know, I think even now, me and AP, we're 2 peas in a pod at the test track, just talking shit and joking, and then we put the helmets on, and then boom, we're racing, and we're in that competitive mindset. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, I've never tried to really be known as the flashy guy or the funny guy or whatever. I come here and do my job and try to do it the best I can, and you know, you either love me or not, and I don't lose sleep about it. But definitely trying to kind of push my brand and get people to know more in depth with me and what I am about. But you know, at the end of the day, racing is what comes first.
Okay, all right. I feel like you're getting to that point, though. We're going to start to see. I'm predicting it now. By the end of the year, we'll be like, we're seeing a little more. Because I just think it's hard to, your first Supercross title, you're concerned with one thing and one thing only. Winning the races. It's hard to do both.
It is.
But I think you're going to learn how to manage it now.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. And like you said, as you get older and you learn more, you experience stuff, and you can be yourself. It's now my 4th year with the team where, you know, they know what works for me, what doesn't. They know when I come back, you know, I mean what I say, and that's how it is. So, yeah, I think hopefully everyone and the fans, especially being back in the stadiums and stuff, can see more outside of just racing.
All right, that's Cooper Webb. See ya.
Thanks, Weege.
Yep, see you in Anaheim. Right. We're going to flip-flop here. MXA guys are going in. We've got Aaron Plessinger. It's already been talked about many times. Still got long hair. Still got the mustache. Still got the boots. And they went out of their way to say, no, dude, don't change anything.
Yeah. I mean, I even asked them. I was like, "You ain't gonna make me, cut my hair, are you?" And they personally told me, like, half the reason we're hiring you is because of your personality, not just your speed. But yeah, it's been a great experience so far.
We talked on stage before. You're already on the up. It was a much better year for you last year than the previous 450 years. So regardless of switching teams and bikes, we'll get to that. But you've got to be excited of. You're kind of closing in on it now.
Yeah, dude. I only had a month on the bike before last year even started. With my wrist and everything before outdoors last year, and not getting to race outdoors, and then, seeing everybody ride Supercross after outdoors, it's just like, wow, dude, like, I'm behind the ball. But,
okay. So you were coming into Houston last year knowing you weren't 100% yet.
Yeah, I was just like, what's going to happen? On the gate, I was like, well, I don't really know what's going to happen. I got like maybe 2 motos in before the season last year. So getting a full off season and a really good off season is going to play a factor for sure. And I got 5th in the points last year. So if I can make any predictions.
Okay.
Top 3 or better would be right up my alley.
We said up there that if you just get that one win, I almost can't believe you haven't won a 450 race yet because you've been leading this or fast here. I mean, what kind of difference does it make if you just get one?
Dude, it's all the difference in the world, I guess. I was, this close at Unadilla, and that crash really took it out of me. But, I'm close, and You know, that's almost.
You were close at Pala 1.
Yeah, I was.
One of the Atlantas last year.
Yeah. Actually, the first Atlanta last year, I was leading until about halfway, and then just.
Yes.
Crashed.
So do you think if you get that one, then all of a sudden those things probably don't happen anymore?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think because
we've seen it. Yeah.
Most of the nerves will be gone. You know, I'm not thinking about, oh, this is my first win.
Yeah. So
and then lock up.
You did think about this?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
for sure. I mean, shoot, last year I think that was the first and only laps I've ever led in a 450 main event.
Right.
I led heat races before, but you know, leading a heat race and leading a main event for, you know, half the race is a lot different.
Yes.
So, yeah, definitely the nerves kick in when you're passing the mechanics area and you're like, dude, this is it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. And then boom, something takes you out of it. But no, it's definitely there. But I think when I do get my first win, like you said, the floodgates are going to open, and hopefully it's early in the season so I can carry it through.
Okay, can you give me the standard, the bike is awesome, the team is awesome, all that stuff? Because I'm sure, I mean, everybody says that.
No, yeah. I mean, these guys have really outdone themselves with welcoming me on the team and just making everything so easy. I've never really changed teams before. I've always only been on Yamaha, so I didn't know what obstacles it came with. But these guys, they made it so easy for me. They made the transition so easy. And not only is the bike awesome, everybody on the team is awesome. They have embraced my personality and me in itself greatly. And I can't thank them enough for that. And then onto the bike, it's outworldly. You know, I really love the bike. The first day I got on it, I meshed with it so good, and it came so natural. It was like it was meant to be.
I didn't know. You had a video that you did very early. You had already been riding this one. Like right off the rip, this bike was ready.
A week, like maybe a week or two before that video, I was riding it. And then,
but that was only a week into October.
Yeah, that was October 4th. And
this bike was ready.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay, so the bike and team and all that, then the Alden component, and everybody's afraid that it's too serious, and you're gonna get burnt out, and you're gonna be tired. So how are we feeling?
No, I'm feeling good.
Okay.
I'm feeling like I've got a lot more to gain, actually.
Yeah.
You know, I haven't peaked yet, and I don't really want to peak until the season starts. But you know, I think Alden's taken into consideration a little bit the rider's body, and you know, it's been a really good experience so far. Nothing too crazy. I'm not, you know, burning myself out there. I'm just, you know, doing what he says, and it's been really great. And then riding with Mookie and riding with RJ, it's really kind of stepped me up, I would feel like. And yeah, I think another month there, and then starting the season, I think we're going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Okay. You're still having fun.
Yes, sir.
Everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
One more part to cover here. Dessert is being served. They gave us these cupcakes, but the real question is this piece edible? Here, can you hold my camera there? You're the most overqualified. We have Team Fried's going to hold. Let's see. Is it edible? It's edible! It's not just a label. All right, we have success. I'll see you at the Honda intro tomorrow.